Okay. Welcome back once more to Final Fantasy XIV with Sirius here. Last time we beat up some refugees so they wouldn't start a riot and get themselves killed. And now we are here in Stone's Throw, where we heard some merchant was trying to rile up more refugees. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with a man from Ulda. The man said they were gonna change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Lots of people left with the man after that, but no one's come back. Okay, report back to Lieutenant Swift, I believe it was. Even Commander. Okay, Commander Swift. Welcome back, Sergeant Sharpblade. Have you learned aught of interest? You persuaded a gang of refugees to lay down their arms, but Flame General will be pleased to learn of this. Less so these other revelations. We must apprehend this treasonous snake at once. This merchant has not only publicly incited sedition within the Sultanate, but gone so far as to provide material support to would-be belligerents. It gouts me that his role in this uprising should have escaped our notice for so long, yet I can well imagine why it did. Rightly or wrongly, those with whom he consorts do not trust us. Alas, trust is not easily gained even in times of peace. We must nevertheless strive, for I believe it's only with the cooperation of the refugees that we will catch our quarry, and so I would have you continue your investigation in Pearl Lane. We know that the merchants sought to recruit the people of Lost Hope and Stone's Throw, so it seems reasonable to assume that they have approached the residents of Pearl Lane as well. After all, the first riots occurred within the city itself. Most, if not all, will refuse to discuss this subject with you, but there is one who may be willing to do so. A man named Landebert. He too has his misgivings about us, but I believe he understands that these riots do little to further his people's cause. Okay, Pearl Lane is this road here. And yes, you find quite a few refugees there. First comes a man with a promise of deliverance. Seeing your suffering firsthand and will bear no longer, he says. Your friend, your ally, your comrade in arms, take his hand, and he will guide you to a better tomorrow. Then comes a soldier with a promise of justice. Follow the man who came before at your peril, he says, for they who sow the wind shall reap the whirlwind. The man's no saint, any fool can see that. We're but tools for his task, to be used and discarded. As for this soldier, he thinks only of his mission. He's more honest than a man, but every bit as ruthless, make no mistake. With whom shall I cast my lot? Neither I, sir, says I. Far as I'm concerned, you're no better than the bastard you pursue. Now the soldier is thinking how else he might get what he wants. He tried the diplomatic approach and failed. Mayhap a firmer hand is needed. Maybe he needs to make an example of this Alamegan scum like he did those 5 fools from Lost Hope. Well, you get no justification from me, soldier, if that's what you're waiting for. I'll not raise a hand against you. But neither will I lend a hand to help you. Not that it makes any difference. The gods seem bent on granting you every bloody wish. There you are, Landebert. Have you given any thought to my proposal? There he goes towards the gate of Thal. Go and claim your prize for coin and country. Convenient. Where is he? Ah, over there. You again? Why are you pursuing me? Sedition, treason, revolution, that's preposterous. Who has filled your heart with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorized the streets of Ulda? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusation. None. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of the argument, let's say I do these things you claim. Surely don't think I give a kicker's ass about politics. It was business, only business. We both know I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. Alright. And I fail as a tank. What's all the commotion? Seven healths. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Silenced. Hold on, Mantra. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots? Perhaps we owe his murder a debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious you're not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Yeah, as close as I was to him, I wouldn't have used a bow. So, that is a dead end, I guess? Commander. What news, Sergeant Sharplate? Where's the merchant? Murdered? Damn it all to the seven healths. He was not simply murdered, Sergeant, he was silenced. Too many knew his face and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though, we may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realized. Are we? But the Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the fragrant chamber as soon as you returned. We wish to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphonse has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room.
And he looked at the Sultana for if he is allowed to give us this information. That's how secret it is.
The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield.
Because it's the PvP area. Yeah.
The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Allagan ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
Ruthless. And probably a bit stupid.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Omega?
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, Destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
I can see that.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Yeah, would have been good to know something like this, huh? I mean, having a doomsday device on your doorstep. Yeah, as I said, knowledge would have been good to know, to have. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the science? If they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interests to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. Fortunately, you are already well positioned to do so, Sergeant Sharpblade. Pray keep us informed of any developments in Cartano. Begun well, there's no place for children. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, mister. People said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? Yeah, I found her in Stone's Throw. Her parents were missing. So he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course. But first I must need finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, and no one else is allowed to listen. Maybe you could wait for me by that pillar over there? Be quiet but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Mamodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans and Aether Staff Primal, even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Menphilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Sirius, this is Menphilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation of the 12th has taken a turn for the worst. I will explain in detail once you arrive. Okay, I need to leave. Minfilia calls me back. The 12th root. The primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I've received no reports of XIV activity, which leaves the sylphs? Go serious. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the Antecedent that while I'm grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I'm more than capable of protecting myself. I think I ended here, and next time we return to Minfilia. Until then, I am Mace, and don't get lost.